Okay, hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So you've got a huge array of free yoga that you can dip into whenever you want. If you like this, please subscribe or even check out my website where we've got a 7-day free membership trial, giving you complete access to the whole of the members area and also 50% off our live classes as well. So the members area, you'll get on-demand classes weekly, new content, relaxation techniques, strength and conditioning exercises, especially great if you're working towards more advanced poses. And you'll also be entered into our private members chat as well in our Facebook group, which is a really nice, beautiful forum full of great people. Okay, let's start our practice today. Okay, we're going to do a really quick session for our desk stretches. So if you're somebody that works at a desk or this like makeshift COVID desk situation, which if you're watching this video in a few years' time is going to sound completely crazy. But yeah, for a whole year we were stuck working at home. Okay. So whether you're sitting down on your yoga mat or maybe you're even on a chair, whatever feels comfortable to you. I'm sitting on a yoga block because that just helps me feel nice and elevated rather than kind of slumping into the ground. Okay, doesn't matter if you're in your lycra, if you're in your clothes, whatever. It's just going to be a nice stretch to really kind of counteract all this slumping that we've been doing and typing. Okay. So a few things we want to think about through our practice. So especially when we've been sitting down a lot, our glutes grow weak, our hip flexors grow really tight. These are key to our movements. If they aren't kind of working effectively, it's going to create a lot of back pain, a lot of hip immobility as well, which creates that back pain. It's a big cycle. Also, we start to go into this slump that I'd imagine a lot of you are aware of. This slump then creates weakness in this chest. It actually then stops this ability from being able to feel really nice and tall in our stance. So our posture really needs to be improved, and our posture has a huge effect on our breathing as well, because as you can imagine, you don't get much air into your lungs, your diaphragm's not working correctly when we're like this, opposed to when we're like this. So there's a lot of other things, not just that this looks quite kind of forlorn and a bit like sad, doesn't it? So your confidence is a huge thing that is improved with your posture as well improving. So however you are, closing down the eyes, thinking about the ears being in line with the shoulders. So you might want to put your finger just on your chin just to bring it kind of back in space, bringing a really nice alignment through the back of the skull, down the spine. Sitting up nice and tall, hands onto your thighs, palms facing up and closing down the eyes. Now this is going to be a session that you can do at any time of your day. Slot it in if you've got a really stressful email that you do not want to reply to, or you're coming into a meeting that you think, oh gosh, I'm a bit nervous about. These are going to give you a nice stretch but also bring you back into your mind, into this sense of calm. So we're going to take a few rounds of our box breathing. Now box breathing is amazing to promote a sense of calm, a sense of bringing yourself back to you, and it's actually used by the Navy SEALs as a way for them to get to sleep really quickly in stressful situations. So if it's good for them, I think it's probably going to be good for us working at home. So box, literally a box. Inhale for 3 or 4, however your kind of lung capacity is. Hold for the same length of time. Exhale for the same length of time. Hold for the same length of time. So inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So whether that's 3s or 4s or maybe even 5s, you see what's comfortable for your body. As you breathe, you may be able to increase the counts as well. Okay, so closing down the eyes. Just come into your breathing. Maybe you want to take a couple of deep breaths and deep exhales, big sighs. I'll count the first for you. I'm going to do counts of 4, so just be aware if that's too long for you and you reduce that count. Okay, so we'll start. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you feel that belly expanding. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your belly should be coming back in. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through your belly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know where we're going, so take it now in your own time. Maybe you increase to 5, maybe you decrease to 3. And I'll count you at the last session, at the last round, and we'll all come back together. Just notice if this is the first time throughout your day that you've actually breathed with your belly and not with your chest. So much of our daily lives is breathing these shallow breaths through the chest. And that actually reinforces this sense of anxiety, this sense of stress, because the only way for our bodies to really produce these calming hormones, to take away the cortisol, is to take these really deep belly breaths. Okay, one more round and then we'll all meet back in stillness. Just coming back to your normal breath. Okay, at the end of the round, maybe you start to open the eyes. And then we're going to take the hands, interlace the hands, and then drive the palms away from us. This is going to feel a really nice stretch through those wrists, through those fingers. Really push through those knuckles, the inside of those knuckles. And then push them the other way, really taking a nice, really tight fist. Maybe you come through a couple of rounds of this. Okay, taking the interlaced hands now behind, just on the nape of the neck, nice and loosely. Thinking about these elbows drawing out to the side, but at the same time, just be conscious that you're not flaring the ribs. So you're not sticking your ribs out as you take the hands behind and take the elbows really long beside us. Keep everything thinking about pulling in, because otherwise you're starting to create this movement in the lower back, which is going to create lower back pain. Okay, so elbows, really think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. Obviously this is promoting this opposite stretch from how we usually are sitting at a desk. On your inhale, start to take the gaze up, keep drawing the shoulder blades together, take the elbows even further out to the sides. Maybe you even feel like you're sticking your bum out. That's going to create a really nice stretch. And on your exhale, you're rounding through your spine, drawing the elbows together, tucking the chin to the chest. Should feel like a nice stretch down the neck. Really rounding through that back, drawing the belly button to the spine. Inhale all the way back up, drawing the elbows out to the sides, gaze up. Exhale all the way back down, elbows drawing towards one another. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale back to neutral. Maybe you're keeping your left hand by maybe your temple, or you can take it down wherever. Taking your right hand beside you, coming into a nice stretch. So if you've got this left hand beside the temple, you're thinking about taking this elbow high. Maybe you're able to reach this right hand further out to the side, but keep thinking about this left hip bone, the left sit bone, grounding down to the floor. So wherever you are, whether your hand's down or up, you should still feel a nice stretch. Going to be a bit more intense stretch with the hand up. You can always bend through this right elbow as well for even deeper stretch. And do the same movement as we did before. So exhale, dropping that elbow down. Inhale all the way high. So we're kind of crossing over this right thigh. Inhale up. One more. All the way high over to the other side, wherever you want that right hand, left hand down. Inhale, really think about this length. Keep grounding that right hip down. Keep the chest open without sticking out this rib cage. Drawing the shoulder blades together. Maybe you even take that left hand further out to the side. And then taking that elbow down and up, down and up. One more time and up. Really nice. Interlacing my hands behind us now. Drawing the hands down whilst we're thinking about this chest pulling through and up to the sky. Try not to think about the lower back because we don't really want to move the lower back. That's just for our stability. So draw the shoulder blades together, reach the chest high, take the gaze up. It's going to feel really nice in the front of the chest and those shoulders. Breathing here. Inhale all the way back up. If you're on your chair, now is the time to come down to the ground, coming into thread the needle. So coming into your all fours, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Inhale, left hand high, maybe you take that gaze up. And on the exhale, the left hand is coming in between the gap of the right hand, right thigh, left ear down to the ground. Now just take this right hand onto your hips, just make sure they are even, they're square to the sky. You're going to have a tendency to drop this left hip, so just bring it back up in line. Maybe you're taking that right hand, bringing it forward, and you're breathing here. If you want an extra stretch, take this right leg long behind you. Place that right knee back down if it isn't already. Right hand by the face. Inhale all the way up, other side. Inhale, right hand high, maybe you gaze up. Exhale, take the right hand through the gap with the left hand, left thigh, right ear to the ground. Check that those hips are square. Walk the left hand out in front of you. And maybe you take this left leg long. Take that left knee back down to the ground, left hand by the face. Inhale all the way up. Okay, whilst we're here in our all fours, we're going to protract and retract the shoulder blades. This is going to create a nice strength in our shoulders and help to open up this chest. So really push the mat away. We're going to separate the shoulder blades by pushing the mat away so much that we're starting to round through this back. Try to keep the ears in line with the shoulders. And then on your exhale, drop the chest down. Don't move the arms, don't move the ears from the shoulders, but we're pulling our shoulder blades together. Push the mat away, separate the shoulder blades, and then all the way back down. So the only thing we're moving is these shoulder blades. The hands are staying where they are, the arms are staying long, and the ears are staying by the shoulders, so we're not tempted to just reach that chin down to the ground. Take 2 more rounds here. Coming into my favourite stretch, but it isn't a favourite with most people, it's our plantar stretch. So knees together, toes together. Walking the weight back so our toes are tucked, and we're coming to kneeling down, kneeling that weight onto the heels. Now just make sure that all of the toes are spread, they're not crossed over one another. This is amazing for our posture, and especially where we wear tight shoes a lot of the time, our toes really become tight in towards one another rather than having that nice space between them like they should. And that affects our posture. Our posture affects our breathing. Our breathing affects that sense of calm, so it all works into one another. Okay, close down the eyes, hands onto the thighs. Now really just think about what the upper body is doing, so that breathing, try to completely ignore that lower body. Use your breath to push past that point of feeling uncomfortable. Final inhale. Exhale, slowly come all the way forward back to the all fours. Slowly just uncurl those toes. Give them a wiggle, maybe even back to the fronts of the feet onto the ground. Coming into our final stretch, so we want to think about stretching the hip flexors. We're going to bring this right foot through, thinking about the ankle and knee in line. Not essential, but it's just the strongest point of this stability. Taking the hands either side of our foot. So if you know that you're starting to round through the back, which obviously we are trying to take the counter stretch, then either you just take your hand onto your thighs, not resting onto your knees, or if you do have yoga blocks, you can rest your hands onto those yoga blocks. So you're going to get a nice stretch through this left hip flexor. Your knee is down, the toes are untucked. If you want a deeper stretch, you can tuck the toes and take that left knee off. Keep thinking about this right hip almost pulling in towards the body rather than starting to draw outwards, which tends to be where our bodies start to go, so pull everything in. Activate the glutes again. What I mentioned at the beginning, our glutes start to grow weak as we're sitting down a lot, so think about that left glute really firing. Coming into an easy twist, so whether your knee is up or your knee is down, planting the left hand, reaching this right hand high. Drawing the shoulder blades together, palm is facing towards the right side, maybe the gaze is high. Exhale all the way down, switching over to the other side, left leg through, setting up nice and strongly for your low lunge. Maybe you test out that knee up. Feeling this really nice stretch through the right hip flexor. Activating those glutes. Wherever you are, coming into that easy twist, planting the right hand, reaching that left hand high. Think about the shoulder blades drawing together. chest opening. Exhale all the way back down, stepping the left foot back. Either you come all the way down onto the mat if you've got time for a Shavasana, or you just come back to kneeling, hands onto the thighs, close down the eyes, and just take 5 conscious deep inhales and exhales. At the end of that final exhale, if you've got to move off back into your day, just take a moment here to set an intention through the rest of your day that you will consciously breathe through your stomach, breathing that air all the way down, expanding the belly, rather than these shallow chest breaths, because even just doing that is going to create a huge amount of difference to your day. It's going to impact the way that you respond to people, the way that you approach situations. Okay. Hands to heart center. Bow the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye, so just in between the eyebrows. Well done for taking this time out of your day to practice, to dedicate it to you. Whenever you are ready, come to the end of the practice. Take the hands away from the eyes and blink the eyes open.